Unseen, and welcome to Tinker Tailor Solder Fry here at well, we are here, yes, but it is the Let's Try program here on the mighty Loading Ready Run Video Entertainment Network. My name is Ian Horner. I'm your host for tonight, as often is the case, and today the thing we're going to be trying to do is Gunpla, as normal. Good God, there's a thing in my shot. Let me fix that before anything else. Wait, actually, no. Yeah, you know what? Let it ride. Ain't gonna bother no one in just a second because we're gonna get right into it. Yeah, I used the term gunpla today, and gunpla is a portmanteau of the words Gundam and plastic. Plastic being a stand-in for the word plastic model, which just generally means Gundam plastic model. But what we're building today is not a full-on Gundam Gunpla, because it's not even from Bandai. You know what, let's just get right to it. That's a commercial. There we go. This is it. The Space Settlement Gunpla. Not from Bandai, but from the Wave Corporation, which I was unfamiliar with. I just decided the other day that, you know, I kind of wanted to build another model on stream and maybe take this one to the next level just a bit to do things right. And so I actually went out and bought myself some cans of Tamiya for the plastics. I don't know if we're going to get into any spraying today because I think we're going to need to let these dry out, and I want to to do this in a less windy situation. But yeah, we've got some clear coat and we've got some flat clear, because this particular model kit requires stickers, which I'm less of a fan of than our good friends, the water slide decals, or decals as you like. But yes, this is the kit, and god dang, good art on this. So why the space colony, and why are you so obsessed with this, and why do you keep calling it a gunpla when it clearly is if anything, a wavepla? And we've got some little discussion here in the chat. I've been quite happy to see people talking about Gerard O'Neill and his book The High Frontier, which conceptualized and really laid out the case for building space colonies in this particular style, in this sort of a cylinder, which is why we call it an O'Neill cylinder. And then you've got your agricultural bits around the edges here. You've got mirrors on these things, and that allows you to, well, really to shine light into the colony. The colony itself being on these bars here on the inside, and it's all a pressurized cylinder, and it's really kind of cool. This may not be a real response, but I need to ask, considering the subject: sphere, torus, or cylinder? Boy, my particular favorite, I'm going to go with the cylinder. But I mean, if we really want to become a Kardashev Type 3 civilization, we're going to need that Dyson sphere. In which case, you gotta go sphere. The torus I find to be just, you know, an intermediary step that's unnecessary. But yeah, as mentioned there, if you're interested in learning more about the concept of space colonies, yeah, check out the book The High Frontier by Gerard O'Neill. It definitely is, as I think it was Nigoki mentioned in the pre-show, that it does a really good job capturing the headiness of the day back in the late 60s, early 70s of space colonization and civilization. And it would sure be nice to have an update of that so that other people can, as stated earlier, so that the entire world can take advantage of the added benefit of added space manufacturing, and not just white billionaires, because that would be nice. Yeah, to that end, I don't actually recommend watching I was very excited for a documentary about O'Neill called The High Frontier. And yeah, the book, the film just really kind of did being a less a parade of Gerard's ideas and cool space settlement things, and more just a parade of white billionaires talking about how great their approach to space is. Not my favorite thing. And he says, not Dyson sphere, sorry, whoa, boy, that is one step up. I think the Bernal sphere, it's that sort of pre-torus design. Okay, yeah. I really, Mercano, we've got the mass of Jupiter to play with, as is the most common discussion. So we'll just use that. What was I going to say about that? Of course, my favorite type of at least colony or generation ship design is the idea of drilling right into an asteroid and then pumping it full of water, capping off the ends, and then using convex mirrors to use the sun to literally inflate the molten rock with the gaseous water, the steam inside. Incredibly difficult, but I would love one of those things I'd love to see. So, yeah, let's get into the box. This is absolutely one of these boxes I'm going to be keeping just for this absolutely gorgeous artwork on the cover here by Pablo. It's not that I can't pronounce his last name. Uchida. Pablo Uchida. Bingo. And yeah, that's kind of what the model looks like there. So what I'm thinking of doing here is I'm going to just give it an assemble, clean it up real good here, then spray it down with the with the clear gloss. Apply the stickers. Apply a wash of some null and oilish stuff to really fill in those side details. Then apply the stickers. Then apply the final flat clear on the top. So yeah, and then I guess we, as is tradition in Gundam, then we just slam this thing right into Australia, or alternatively, I'm guessing Ontario might also work. Anyway, instructions. Let's have a look through here. Actually, before we do, let's have a look at what's in the box. We got the instructions. That's good. We've got our runners of. This appears to be the exterior and the exterior wings. Yep, because there's nothing on the inside there, but that looks like where we might get some mirror action going. Oh yeah, this is Noel the Sprues. Yeah, why not? Let's get them out here. One there. Boop, boop, boop. Canada is where the final battle takes place. That was true not just of Gundam, but I remember also Macross had a pretty, not the final battle, but a pretty definitive battle for one of our characters. Happens in Ontario. Wink. Ooh, here we go. This is the singular? No, there's more. Yes, haha. These are the glass pieces. I mean, they're not glass. They're just see-through plastic, but I love that they exist and they're part of the design. We get 3 of those, it looks like. Although one of them has, I don't know if they've got good space off there. More, ooh, okay, we've got base there, and end of the space settlement stuff here. So there we go. We have, don't have to show all copies. We have nulled our runners, roughly. And then here comes the fun stuff. These are the stickers. And as I said, I really prefer, good water slide decal to make things look nice. But that said, if you're going to be building a mirrored or something that mimics a mirror, this is going to look really good on that there. So let's put that safely aside for now. Ooh, yeah. And it's something you don't get to see in a lot of plastic model kits. In fact, this may not, in fact, be a full plamo, because it does include a singular brass rod, which will be used to attach the colony to the base. So let's move these runners aside here for the moment. I guess technically they are now loading ready runners. Yes, I see what I did there. What else we got here? Oh, yep, we've got a few more stickers. These apparently go on the glass portions to simulate the crossbars. And apparently, the instructions say to me, use as many as you like because they're nearly limitless. And finally, we get something we can actually look through here together. A nice little art book on the concept of this colony here. I mean, this is good stuff. Sketches of the initial design phase. Nice. If Tailor got a high-speed camera, would you be willing to film a colony drop? I mean, you're going to need a pretty fast camera to capture what is terminal, well, actually, what is going to be beyond terminal velocity colony dropping. That's going to punch through the atmosphere like a bad day. Here we go. I think these are a method of the solar collection areas for the agricultural ends on the ring here. Very cool. Studio Nue apparently was involved in this somehow. Not sure why. These must be the missile packs, right? Right? I guess just a back view or a way to look at how it's going to be attached. Just, oh, loving the greebliness of the... Why did that stop? 1 second here. Oh! That's fun. Fun fact, if you're using iOS OBS camera for iOS as one of your cameras, say your top-down camera, don't let it take phone calls, because that will just freeze things up. Yeah, so I guess this is just supposed to be the details of the up-close greebling on the side panels. Again, gorgeous. And then a view of the mirror, or the mirror segments. Cool, cool. We got here. Yes, the end cap. Sometimes portrayed as a construction piece. Sometimes portrayed simply as just a little booster area. And other close up on the factory zone or the connection point. And then finally, love that they actually took the time to sketch out what the cities and settlements would look like actually inside of the colony. And then, of course, did they render the cities as well, or is it just open area? Oh yeah, no, this is apparently supposed to be a very developed colony, I guess, because you've got at least 3 city area or city type settlements in each of these panels. And then finally, what I'm guessing is a view from the midpoint of one of these panels into the back end of the colony. And this is what I really loved about the ideas of these colonies, is that you've got this flat area which you can, good for farming, good for living, good flat space. But then you can actually use the natural slope up the edge of the back of the city to to construct some mountains and whatnot, and give yourself a cool little alpine area. And of course, love the concept of getting out there and being able to just jump off the ground and start hang gliding and whatnot through the air, because because gravity made by spinning. Okay. Let's start. Let's get out that instruction manual and begin our show. Tools for today. We've got some of the usual suspects back here. We've got, we've got the T-square in case we need it. We've got the emery boards for cleaning up edges. We have our Urfa hobby knife, also for cleaning up edges. We have the rough nippers for getting them off the sprues, because I know a bunch of you have been emailing and contacting me about the fact that I'm using these incorrectly, that these should only be used as a cleanup step. And so, you know what? We'll do that this time. We'll do things roughly with our solder nippers, and then we'll get down to business with the cleaning friends. Now, let's push them off to the side for the moment. Okay. Let's open things up and have a look. So off the bat, we already got a bunch of things going on here. I'm gonna have to be making some questions about what we want to do. We're going to start with the D's. Give them D's. D1, D1, and D1. Now, would you look at that? We have 3 sets of D1. Ooh, also, yeah, I'm pretty sure because this is a different, and specifically the wrong kind of plastic, that I absolutely would not be using my god hands on this to begin with. Right. You use your GHPN 120s for whatever you like. For everyday bills, use what you like. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. But I figured I'd do it the way... I haven't built many models. Might as well try the correct method. All right. That said, looking forward to when I can internationally travel again, so I can go to Japan and get them sharpened in person. Not because I need to get them sharpened in person, but just because I want to. I want to just show up at the hobby shop. Tasukete! Boku no god hand wa taihen! My son is very sick. That is not what I said. Okay. So we need D1 and not D2 through 6. Okay. Let's just... Cool! That just comes right out. Right. Yeah, that definitely honks in terms of shattering plastic. We'll need more of those. Here's the other 2. Using the perpendicular snipping method with older plastics because you're not a monster. Oh yeah, no, I try to keep my blades perpendicular at all times, just because it's a good idea, I think. It also is important for the method of sharpening that I've got for my knives. I've just got the triangles that come down and need to keep the knife vertical as it slices down each side of the triangles, giving itself that proper angle. And if you can't do that, well then, bad times. Snip, snip. That's 2. Released from their KG prisons. That just comes right as also a good descriptor of you at a Pride event? I'd hope so. No, sorry, not I'd hope so, actually. I'm glad to hear that. What I hope is that you don't require so much sanding and nipping to get the job done. All right, let's, whoop, out you go. Cleanup time. Let's do that with, let's try the Olfa to start with here. Make things nice and... Whew. Oh. Eee. I can hear the flexing and it makes me sad. Thankfully, it looks like there's a bit of wiggle room because the edge of the window right there is going to butt up underneath, I think, a different particular piece there. So... Can we get any more off? No, oh, that's really scary. Get your finger out of the way, Ian. Woof. Well, that wasn't clean at all. In fact, that's the opposite of clean. Thankfully, I think that'll hide right out again because it's under the edge. But damn, that's not a good start to things. Oh well, it'll look good on a shelf. Damn. Let's see here. There we go. That seems like a better cut. That one too. And those will clean up quite nicely. On these hidden pieces, but no one will see except for that part and that mark that I made. Oh well. This is apparently the difficult stuff to de-sprue. That's good to know. I am happy to know that I am not alone in my bad time de-spruing. But whew, this is actually pretty fragile plastic. So we're going to set that one up there. Thankfully, with the way these things will line up, I can twist the colony so that particular window will be invisible to the world. Okay, let's try not taking as big a piece this time. Okay. Well, it didn't snap anything, and that's definitely closer. Let's just try scraping that aside. Okay, and then back the other way, again away from oneself, to avoid damage to the body. That's almost perfect. Just a little bit of a hump there in the middle. That's a good clean-ish line. See just a bit there as it doesn't focus. Not bad, not bad, I'm going to say. Want to sand it up a bit? Yeah. There we go. That's a clean one. Much better. Much better! Yeah, Dark Morphord, I'm betting this is absolutely a polycarbonate. Happy to hear, though, Pat, that you're that you're here to give me some A, encouragement, and B, backup when it comes to this not being the best system. Okay. Go, and there we go. Okay, that's clean. That's done. I should really start a little... Actually, I should use the top of the bottom of the box to hold my dead sprues. But is there any indication on the thing as to what type of plastic this is? Space Settlement D, Wave Corporation. Wave Corporation. Nope, doesn't mention on the sprues what it is, so unfortunate. All right, and then let's I suddenly had a real awakening of a possible problem. Anyone out there happen to know if Tamiya for plastics? Okay, this is probably okay. This probably won't cause clouding. Probably. Yeah, if anyone happens to know if TS13 reacts badly to whatever this is, I would appreciate that information. Okay. So let's take it off nice and easy. There's a little bit of tearing there, but we didn't let it get far. Oof. It didn't hit the actual styrene. We just got a... just along the edge. Again, thank goodness for that. It's fun learning the amount of force that you need to use. Okay, this is definitely a case of get the emery board out. Let's give that just a wee bit of touch up there. It's not quite smooth like glass, but we just need a bit off the top here. Fingernails, the modeler's best friend. Not as clean as I'd like, but again, hidden, so it's okay. Monet, it is not a spray paint. It is a top coat. I think what I'll do, Death Likes Cats, and others who are worried, is I'm going to keep one of the runners here, and I'll give it a hit with the Tamiya beforehand just to see what happens. Yeah. Look, I went to the model shop in town, BC Shaver, not a sponsor, but you should be if you're watching. Not a sponsor, but the man at the shop said that was the one I wanted, so. That said, I didn't mention I was doing anything with clear plastics, so they may just not have known. Oof. There we go. Nice and clean there. Pick up. I also considered bringing in the Gundam markers I have, and then I realized that they are, at this point, 14 years old. They are 14 years old, and I have no idea if they still contain any liquid. Actually, the Pinky Street markers I'm testing, or I'm tempted to bring in, and maybe put together another model, which I should probably. I could probably give a sneak preview later. Oh my goodness, we've done half of step 1. Or just over, wait, I have an actual amount. We've done just over 3/5 of step 1. The only warning you can find is test on decals beforehand. Thankfully, that was why I went in for advice, was because these are not, as I said, decals. These are, in fact, straight up stickers. Or, if you speak any amount of, or if you speak the bare amount of Japanese necessary to say the word in Japanese, shiru. These are C1s, and these are tiny. Okay. And that's where it's saying here, yep, C1s go along these bores. Just go ahead and use as many as you want. I like the 4 along the edge. That said, gonna need to go grab something, and I'll be right back. Just a piece of cloth, specifically microfiber cloth, because I want to buff down the insides of those windows before we go hitting them with any stickers. All right, we're back, and we brought cleanliness with us. Ooh. Okay, so let's take one off here and see. Good Lord, these are fine. We are definitely going to be using the edge of our blade to pick up and place these. Ooh. Tweezers might not be in order, or might not be out of order either, but all right, so there's just 3 per, roughly halfway down. I think that's well, there's one of them. Is that the right place? Don't want to get too much head and shot. Right there. Oh, no. It's slightly off angle. Okay. Carefully, carefully. I'm actually going to, now that I remember that I have these, grab the tweezers too. There's the fine point, friends. There we go. That'll let us get it straight on. Okay. And that's one line. Well, this is definitely going to be taking a while. That says he's got backup Gundam markers just for one if they die on stream, inevitably. Yeah, I know that feel. Death Likes Cats, thank you so much for that. You can blame these tweezers, I believe, on our good friend Lord Hosk. They were part of a TTSF care package that was sent our way. Well, here you go. I'm going to use this mat to actually distribute these lines evenly. It's going to be just one. Nope. Okay. And Bob, as they say, is your uncle. Yes, that'll do. Oh, Pat, tweezers, and make sure if you can, locking tweezers are super handy. My pistachiosis is showing. As people know, I mean, our Commodore Castle characters are based on our personalities. So I'm happy that I actually have the chance to get the productivity side of me out as well as other sides. I'm a man of multiple fluids, as has been said. Ah! Okay, okay, you know what? Need to... There we go. Straight. And narrow. Ish. No, that's off on an angle. Which is probably fine in actual colony building, or at least in this sense. I guess the idea was that you're supposed to, with these stickers, just get creative with how many bars you have across. But it does look good from the side, though. All right, that's one down, and we can always add more if we want later. Let's continue on. Soldier on. March on, soldiers of sorrow. Which is, oh god, I was going to say is the best Gundam theme song, but I mean, it might be the best original Gundam theme song, but there are so many good Gundam themes. Honestly, the best Gundam song in my mind is absolutely a tie, because I cannot choose one or the other as my favorite child. It is absolutely Turn a Turn or Gino Reconquista. And I might give the edge to Turn a Turn just because of how how much Tomino loved that particular song and being involved in the production of it. Okay, so it's off by one. By off by one, I mean off the major grid by one. Yes, inspired by real life is a much better term, because based on real life implies that there are things that are true and things that are not true, and it's best just to leave that up to the viewer. Nice. Off the edge. Okay. And I'm getting good at this, I feel like. Also, I hope you all who are in the heat dome areas are preparing yourselves for the coming days. Keep yourself cool if you can. Think about anything that you might need to do that might require creating heat, like you know, cooking a turkey or doing laundry. Might get that done now. Oh, painfully dyslexic. Raise Your Flag is absolutely one of the all-time greats. As is Uru's, actually Uru's ending theme, which the name escapes me at the moment, but also Orphan's Namida is one of the best ending themes, period. That ending theme goes harder than it needs to for any show. Orphan's Namida. I don't know the words, so I'll just do the thing that everyone does. Make it all up. And then nail all the English bits. Because that's how we do it over here. Well, I know what I'm listening to after the stream today, if we haven't already been muted. I would like a Gundam themes collection from on vinyl, please. If anyone at Sunrise Bandai can make that happen. I mean, you absolutely can't. It would be a rights nightmare. But there are a good number of Gundam cover albums, so maybe not. Oh, Seiji-san, that's perfectly fine. And in fact, Gundam is very mecha focused. It's right there in the title. So I wouldn't begrudge anyone not checking out that if they're not into mech. That said, I mean, there's the question of, do you like real robots or do you like super robots? Or is it just all robots in general that you don't like? Yes, that was the big thing about Gundam when it came out, is that it kind of pioneered the shift from... There's a shift from super robots being these big combiney things that would be overpowered and just were kind of like Super Sentai. Really fantastical. And then Gundam came along and tried to make the robot and space action more realistic. And that kind of hit a tone with the audience. And now we have a lot of real robot shows. Oh, Manai says Tokyo Koite. There's a name for it. Took some looking. Yes, is that, if I recall, that is the one that's the Neil Sedaka song, which is why it's so difficult to get good covers of. It's also a good song on both the Japanese and the English versions. I keep it around. Though I've been really jamming out to the Orgus theme recently. Impossible to find on iTunes or Spotify unless you know what to search for, which is either the name of the song, which I think is Space Hurricane, which is a great name for a song, bracket, Augus theme, Auguss, which is not at all how you Romanize Orgus, as I believe it is Romanized in the title itself. C1 and C1 are our next pieces, and we have a singular C1 in this bag here. Let's get it out. Oh man, the Big O, super good stuff. I haven't finished the Big O myself, but that is a quality piece of entertainment. And then the next C1 is over here. I like these guys. The Big O theme, and especially the the animation is so good. Okay, let's what would happen if we decided to just outright copy Flash Gordon from Queen? And the answer is awesome, is what it is. Okay, here's our inner bits, and you can see the inner bits are kind of lumpy, as they are in a colony. All right. Phoebe the Coffee Witch says, I assume that it's an O'Neill colony named after Air Force Lieutenant General Jack O'Neill, who helped save the Earth from the Goa'uld, who are a false god. But I think we were talking, or at least there. Ooh, that's yes, that good buttery feel of soft plastic. Well, that one came off the wrong way. We were talking before about the fact that it's probably more likely that that Jack O'Neill, the character, was named after Gerard O'Neill. Huh. Richard Dean Anderson is still alive, right? Because if we could not reboot Star Trek, but if we can get Stargate, if we can get one more season, like a la a Star Trek Picard, I don't know, make it about Daniel, who maybe he reascends again or something. But that would be a lot of fun. Dark Morphin says, do the clear parts feel like a cover of CD jewel case? Those are made of polystyrene. So if you think that's the same stuff, we might be able to find more info. I believe that's... It kind of feels that way. So we've got this edge here. And it definitely... You know what? It actually feels stronger than CD material, to be honest. I feel like a jewel case would have snapped like a twig with the amount of pressure I put on this little fin here. No, I also really loved Stargate Universe. It was interesting, and it was a different take on it. But I also really enjoyed Stargate Atlantis in a way that I think it really found its footing a lot quicker than Voyager did, in my opinion, for being a very similar spin-off. Let's try the God Hands to do the cleanup here on this piece, and then we'll compare that and contrast it with the hobby knife for the next one. Let's get right up there. Actually, let's pull back a bit. There we go. Now we can see what we need to cut off. And okay, still requires cleanup. Good to know. Wait, we gotta go parallel, that's right. Don't leave stress marks. You don't want stress bumps on your model kit. Did I happen to catch SSS Dynazenon this season, asks Doodles the Great. The answer to that is most of it. Corey and I are a bit behind on that, as well as a bit behind on Godzilla's Singular Point. I mean, I guess Godzilla. I guess Godzilla Singular Point did just come out today. But oh wow, no, Dynazenon and Singular Point are so far two of my favorite shows of the year. Period. No qualifiers of anime or anything. I honestly think in terms of the fun I'm having with the show, I'm having more fun, or I had more fun, with Godzilla Singular Point than I have with Loki. Loki's definitely great, don't get me wrong, but God, Singular Point, such a good story. If you'd like to hear me talk more about anime that I like, there's a thing coming up, but actually, wait, you're in the chat. Pat, can we talk about that thing? More importantly, do you want to remind me when it's coming up so we can remind everyone here? Because that would be a cool thing. I'm sure we've got a number of people here who would like to see that. Great, it's announced. It's out. Yeah, I was on Pat Bear's anime yelling stream. Damn it. But it was a lot of fun. Really happy to have been invited, and really happy to have had a chance to talk about some of my picks from the this season and other seasons. And yeah, I highly recommend you check it out because there are some really good recommendations in there. Also, the people on the panel are great. All right. Okay, one more piece. One more side needs a clean. Yeah, doing this for a stream is just hinky. Ooh. Okay, let's get the sandpaper in there. Do we need sandpaper there? I don't think we do. Okay, those are some clean cuts, I think. Okay, good. So, information coming up July 16th, 8 p.m. Eastern on twitch.tv/PAX2. Be there. I mean, I will be there. Not just in spirit and not just in recording, but I'll probably show up in whatever form of chat is made available for us, which I believe for PAX is a Discord, which, huh. I think we're all very familiar with my feelings on Discord in general. All right. Take care, Pat. Have a good one, and good luck yourself. Break some legs, but don't break any spurs. All right. Eep. 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 There we go. Smooth lines is what we want. What I should do is, there we go. I wonder if I can zoom this in at all more, or if that's worth doing. Dear chat, give me half a second here. Constable Cowboy, you've only seen Pat Labor? I mean, you should probably just stop watching anime because that's you've done it. You watched the only good anime there is. I recently did a I think over COVID here. I went ahead and finished did a rewatch of Pat Labor, and it's God. Someone really described Godzilla Singular Point in a good way to me today. They said it's got the same feeling of Pat Labor in that you've got this group of misfits solving problems that they are super underqualified to do. And then you've got the fun AIs, much like the Tachikomas. Just a lot of fun. Yeah, the only good anime is Space Dandy. Also correct. Okay, we can do some assembly now. Shall we do some assembly? So we're going to take this. Somehow, these are going to connect to there. Ah, I see how this works. The thing is, these end caps have got more nubs than necessary. So it's kind of difficult to see where the nubs go. But I think that's... Oh, that's not a yub nub. Is that a yub nub? And it's also going to be friction fit for the most part, so it might not grip too much. Okay, there we go. That looks correct. I'm going to zoom back out a bit actually here while I do the assembly. Okay, let's get that one on there, and then there. And kind of smoosh it in. Just kind of smoosh, smoosh, smoosh. Oh, there's a click. Click, click. Click, not smoosh. Good to know. Uh-oh. Discussion about Macross happening, and I'm afraid I've really got to disagree with the point that saying Macross 7 wasn't good. Macross 7 is actually probably my favorite Macross, but that's because it's focused more on the band than it is the love triangle. Macross 7 was an interesting experiment where they went in a different direction than Macross Plus, in a different direction. It feels closer to the original Macross, but it's also got some great characters who are not your typical characters, and there's much less focus on Moe in it, which is a big part, and I'm not going to say it's not a big part of Macross, because Moe is a huge part of Macross. It actually kind of helped define the very concept. Plus was great, by the way. I don't begrudge Plus at all. Okay. I really don't like how much pressure I feel like I've got to exert on this. And the angles are all really yicky. Not an easy build. But not for the reasons you'd think. I'm also super worried about just snapping one of these pieces. Not that I feel like I need to, because you can really just jam on that little piece there. Oh yeah, Delta I really enjoyed. Wait, no, Delta is the one I didn't finish. I started and I don't know why I didn't finish it, because it seems like it's okay. Wait, or am I getting that wrong? Which was Triangle? Is that... Oh, okay, yeah, Delta's the latest one? Yeah, it's the one that's just before that I really, really enjoyed, and... God, why can't I remember that one's name now? Macross Plus, or sorry, Macross, Do You Remember Love? Macross 2, Macross Plus, Macross 7, Macross... something Macross Delta. The one with, well, yeah. Frontier! Thank you, Nigoki. Got there. Or rather, you got there, and I just kind of yelled out, mood... I became an auditory mood board for a second. Something I don't recommend. Okay, this piece wants to get closer in, but I also don't want to crush anything, so I think I'm just going to leave it as is for the moment and see if it fits properly. There we go. We've got a start here to a spinning colony. I'm liking that. Was there ever any BattleTech on AFK? Not yet, but never say never. It's because there's a clip when someone's riding a motorbike on the bridge. I mean, Babylon 5 did that. What's wrong with that? I mean, how do you pronounce Macross? Penguin. Well, that's quite easy. What you need to do is just open up either the dub or the original Japanese theme song, and you'll find out that it is Soldiers of Fortune from Deep Space, Macross. Or again, if you're in the Japanese version, Macross. 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 Such a good classic theme. All right, we're looking for 3 A5s. Can I get an A5? Hell yeah. I thought it was pronounced Robotech. Wow. Get out. All right. A5 is you up top. Let's do the rough outs. And then, once we've got our A5s roughed out, it might be time for us to take a shotty. Yep, both A5. Good. I'm like, jam on the gas. Don't stop for nothing. Oh. Looks like there's a bit of, gonna be a bit more along the edges here that we'll need to remove there and there, but I'm not gonna do that yet, just in case. Nope, that definitely needs to come off. Okay, well those will need to come off when we take them off, which is going to be in just a few minutes, because we are taking a short break to get up, stretch your legs, swap your fluids, and I'll be doing the same, and we'll be back with more space settlement construction in just a few minutes. Don't go away. Folks, we are back with more Tinker, Tailor, Solder Fry here on the Mighty Loading Ready Run Video Entertainment Network. We're building an O'Neill colony space settlement plastic model from the Wave Corporation. And while I was on break, I decided to also go ahead and hit the runner with that flat clear, and boy oh boy does that not do what I want it to. You can see that here where I'd left it is clear. This is where my hand was. This is where the paint went, and that has absolutely, I mean, it's not dried yet, but it is absolutely clouding up to my view there. Let me see if I can get something underneath it so you can have a little bit better look of how cloudy that got. So I think we're gonna have to pass up on using that clear coat on the clear stuff, which is gonna be fun. Yeah, matte finish. That's. Wait, did I hit that with? No, I hit that with the clear. That is definitely not the matte that I hit that with. So yeah. Oh yeah, no, that's dried, and that is clouded up. Ugh. Which means we're going to have to probably, if I want to paint this thing, go in stages here. Because I absolutely definitely want to give this a wash to really bring out these details. But we'll probably have to do that. We're gonna have to do this in pieces, which is fine. I mean, we can get the initial assembly done today, and then I can work on hitting what needs to get hit with cans and what doesn't need to be hit with cans, and maybe I can come back with a wash and do a final assembly. Who knows? I should also probably give this a test too, my top coat, to see what it does to the to this stuff. But that'll come later. For now, let's continue on with what we're doing, which is cleaning up these sprues. So I bet that I can probably use the God Hand on this to make some very clean cuts there. And I want to say here. And that just falls off nicely. Happy with that cut. Yeah, sub-assembly, then painting. You know what? The red panda, like I said, this is the first time I'm taking a model build really seriously, because I have always absolutely adored the look of O'Neill cylinders. And as soon as I found out that there was a model of what, I thought, well, my God, this is what I need. I need to build this, and I need to take my time and do it right. And that way I can have something that can actually sit on my shelf with my other ships, and I can feel real good about. So let's go along the edge here. Very careful not to cut too far in, which I may have actually done there. You can see just the edge. Maybe you can't. Yeah, you can see just a hair of plastic that pulled off there. I think I'm going to have to get close, but not perfectly close. Oh no, if I go from the back, it's much easier to see. Okay, so get the blade end underneath. Try to find the parallel lines. And just press. Do not cut. Do not twist. Just simply press. There we go. And let's smooth that down as well. Oh, there we go. Smoke Jaguar. Man, I've missed some stuff. Oh no. Oh no, Lady Aliros. Going through the G3 to play Mech Warrior. You're now reminding me of the one flight stick I had for my Power Max 7600. I think I kept it all the way through my G3 too. I actually bought my Thrustmaster ADB for my G3, but before that it was God, I think it was the Gravis Firebird, I want to say. It was the one that had the weird, the joystick was kind of cone-shaped, and it had this weird flat top with, I think, a button on the edge and then maybe a tiny hat on the top. Point is, it was the one that got used as the manual control stick in Star Trek, I want to say, one of the bad ones, which is to say the next gen movies. Whichever the one that it had the Enterprise E. I want to say Insurrection. But yeah, Jonathan Frakes calls for the manual control column, and it comes up out of the center of the bridge, this pedestal, and a joystick pops out the top of it, and now he gets to F-16 the Enterprise all the way around the battle. It was the dumbest thing, and I loved it. Okay, yeah, let's continue on with God handing this. Because we could stand to be just a bit quicker. Not that I need to rush this, but I was honestly a bit worried that we'd run out of things to do on today's stream. The assembly's taken it a bit of time. Flight Stick Pro, thank you. That's now I know. Oh, Americano, now you're taking me back to A10 attack. A10 attack, and its various updates, and its updates later on in the game, when things got wacky with their multiplayer arenas. And, by which I mean there were arenas. There were like towers that you could land in the middle of. A10 Attack is the one game I miss the most from my LAN party days. Because there really hasn't been a successor of that sort of weird game. That said, you know, if I'm playing by myself, I'm generally going to reach for Chuck Oyako's Air Combato. Chuck Yeager's Air Combat. Because that was a good game. And a lot of fun. Is more of a arcadey. Well, not that the A10 Attack wasn't arcadey as hell. Mercano, that's exactly the one I had. Yeah, it was the Firebird 2 because it had the throttle, which was, and the trim knobs. The throttle being a tiny little orange thing, and then a trim knob next to that. They were great. Oh yeah, no, 6-9MG Cobra. That my first joystick as well was a Gravis. Something or other for the Apple II, and it also did not have a trigger button, and it was, quite frankly, that was the biggest injustice of my my short life up to that point. Yeah, it had 2 on the base and 1 on top, and they were red and they were black. The joystick was black, and it had a foam grip, and honestly, the best feature it had, a lot of joysticks just don't have anymore, was adjustable tension with this big old wheel in the bottom that you could click up. That's good. You made the correct choice there, Lady Eliros, with the CH clones. The CH joysticks were really good. I was actually looking at them earlier this year, or late last year, when I was still hyped as hell about Star Wars Squadrons. And that kind of fell by the wayside, and my desire to pick Star Wars Squadrons back up, especially looking at what the meta in that game is right now, with the constant boosting and drifting, makes me... it's no longer the game I'm interested in playing. I'm interested in playing X-Wing versus TIE Fighter in 2021. And, well, it sure as heck started as a good game for that. People with far more time than I did decided to turn the game into something else entirely. God hands really do make this easy work. All right. Toss away the trash and begin construction. So I'm wondering what this means here. Not really sure that it means anything, but let's have a look at the designs on them, see if that matters at all. Okay, so the designs are the same for each. So I guess what they're saying is they want you to turn one of them around. Not that it really matters. But anyway, this means something. This is important. Oh yeah, this is the point where we would generally, this is where we would be putting down a sticker if it weren't for the fact, specifically these ones, if it weren't for the fact that we were coming back and going to be repainting this, it looks like. But again, let's go for assembly. It's all clicked together. Thank you, various companies for figuring that out. Now, why is that not... Okay, I guess that's just the way it wants to be. Wait. Okay, interesting. So there's a bit of aha! Aha! I figured it out. So, there's a left side and a right side. And you can see here with me, actually it's easier to see on the back side, on these strips. One of them has these little tabs here, and the other side does not have the tabs coming out the edge. So, I assume that that means we need to make a decision as to which is quote-unquote right and which is left. Does that matter on the other side? It does. It does matter on the other side. So that might be why I'm having so much trouble here. So there is one side that's flat and one side that has... yeah, one side of these window pieces. So you can see up here, this side is flattened, whereas the other side has the notch in it. It's very subtle, but I missed that. So let's... Oh no, now I'm gonna look at joysticks. Y'all are terrible. That's exactly it. That was exactly the one I had. Good God. Ah. Okay, well, it looks like I just got one wrong, which probably explains why I was having such trouble getting it on. Okay, let's recombobulate. There we go. Now we've got flat sides to the this side, notches to the left, I think. One of these ways is going to make sense, and the other is not. All right. So, does notch match with notch, or does notch match with open side? I think. Okay, I think flat is to the C1. And then notch side to the other side. How does it fit if we do that? Pretty dang well, actually. Oh. Okay. That's on there. So we don't flip them around. Every notch goes to the same side. Ah. Ah, he said, not really necessarily understanding. And then he did it. Yeah, if you do it backwards, it doesn't quite snap in. But if you do it the correct way, everything just fits. Have a look at that. Oh, that's looking good. Oh, I'm excited to see that Firebird, Meccano. Just gotta copy and paste that. Yep, that was it. Although, weirdly, mine had a different color scheme than gray. I had like orange knobs and a lot of green on there too. It's weird as heck, but a lot of fun. Okay, so now we can really have a look at what we're going to be doing with this. What we're going to be doing is cleaning off a lot of fingerprints in the future. That's for sure. But otherwise, it looks okay. Aside from some parts that haven't quite clicked in all the way. But again, not final assembly, so we don't necessarily want that to get too messed up. Firebird 1, that might have been it then. I had a drink. It went away. Ah, it's in the kitchen. For those wondering, beer tonight is the Category 12's Critical Point. It is also delicious. Step the 4th. Or step the 3rd, I guess. Ooh, okay, we got our A4 wings now. Excuse me. And these are the ones where we'll put the big ol' mirror seal on there, I think. But we'll do that once we've got it painted. For now, clip, clip. 2, 3, 4. The sprues. I was wondering where Ben got that stick from. But yes, with him big on fighty games now as well, we can have to host some sort of a big old tournament with Naomi too once we make it back into the office. This is extremely thin plastic, but that's, I mean, when you're building space colonies, you'd probably be doing a very similar thing in terms of making things as light as possible. Well, not as light, but because you'd be constructing it in orbit. Probably at a Lagrange point, to be honest. All right, that's one very clean fin. Ooh, no, wait, we still got a sprue friend on the back here, too. Oh, God, why? Why would you curve a piece like that? I mean, I know why you did. It's, But that means I'm going to have to get in there and clean that up with a knife. Ooh. Ooh. Ha, like a whistle. In that it's clean as a whistle, not in that it makes a lot of noise and protects you against people who are following you home through the car park at night. Fox 40. Ooh. That's a close one. But the fin remains... I mean, the fin remains not a Jedi, which is against my wishes. Poe and Finn are force sensitive, and that's canon up here. Assemble an orbit. The booster Lagrange would probably be cheaper, both in manpower and fuel. Probably Asterix. I mean, it depends if you're using much like the well, if you follow the Gundam style, you're going to be just constructing the constructor backed end, probably in orbit, and then sending that to a Lagrange point to meet an asteroid, which will then use the mass of the asteroid to construct the remainder of the colony. Oof. There's just the smallest amount of unevenness there that I've now shaved right off and made it possibly worse, but you'll never see it. Okay. And one more. Let's get nice and close, but not too close. That was too close. God, I'm too close. Man, I really made a mess of this one. There we go. From that far away, you can't tell, but I'll know it's there. Are there some benefits to having it at a Lagrange point as opposed to a high orbit substantially closer to the planet? I mean, the main reason is that it's not, the orbit isn't going to decay. Like, Lagrange points are really cool naturally occurring phenomenon in that you kind of get a free parking spot, which is really nifty. Like, the low Earth orbit is honestly a terrible place to be, aside from its proximity to Earth. But like, the only thing we should have in low Earth orbit is transfer stations. But yeah, I remember finding out about Lagrange points and thinking, this is how did science, not even science, how did physics do this for us? How did we get so lucky? Okay, that's getting a little better. This is feeling better. In terms of the cleanup. Yeah, that just needs, yeah, this one's just going to need a bit of sanding just to, not even, but smooth out the edges. Yep. Except for that bit. And even then, it's not so bad. Stick that down on there. There we go, that's one side. That's the other side. It's a good point, Random Trivia. We don't really know how gravity actually works yet either. But, yes, that's right, on Asterix, in orbit around the Lagrange points, because, yeah, the points themselves are tiny because they're hey, a singular point. But you can move things around a gravitational point. Lagrange point orbit is how we get the space elevator. Not quite the red panda. The Lagrange point space elevator is going to do more with geostationary orbits than it is with the Lagrange points. Because if you want to have a single line that goes from the surface up into a point in space, it's going to have to be a geostationary point, because otherwise that line is going to move back and forth, or more than likely, rip out. Yeah, they're way farther out than space elevator distances could ever be, and there's a number of them, not just within the Earth system, but within the whole solar system as well. They're basically, think of them as balance point, invisible balance points, corresponding with other space bodies, like the moon, like the Earth, and the sun. And the idea that you just get this free spot, which is locked to these other bodies. There's my favorite one is I can't remember which point it is off head, but there's basically an antecedent point on the other side of the sun to the Earth that will just keep going that way, which would be a great place to put a secret base if you ever wanted to invade the Earth, because it would be invisible to us, because it would always be on the other side of the sun. Please go read Three Body Problem. It's not a spoiler, it's just lots of cool physics tricks in that book too. All right, we are on to step 4, which includes A1, 1, and 2. So what are these? Oh, I see. We'll get to these in a second then, I guess. Isn't Earth 2 there? Earth Sun L3. Thank you, evil Dr. Reef. Mekakuga, yes, this is exactly that type of colony. Within Gundam, you'll hear them referred to as colonies. Within other areas of space fandom, you'll hear them more commonly referred to as O'Neill cylinders. Named after the person who conceived of them. Wait, did I get the right one? A1, yep. Wait, do we get an extra A1? I think we totally do. That's cool. All right. Karati, we were discussing that earlier in the show. It seems like a number of us here in the chat have read it, and a differing number of us have a copy of the book and may not have actually done the required reading. Boy, I love our Twitch chat. Where else can you go on the internet to talk about Lagrange points, learn about space, habitation, and physics, and hear the worst puns on the internet? Sometimes, no promises. Oh yeah, and also look at and reminisce about pictures of joysticks from the mid 90s, or from the I should say the mid 80s to the mid 90s. Because dang, if that Gravis wasn't that red Gravis specifically. Folio tie. All right. Just about got these two pieces cleaned up here. Gotta make sure that I'm doing this on camera. I am the worst at my job. Which makes me wonder why I haven't, but... a bit more. We're gonna slightly pull back. There we go. That looks right. This one I'm going to do farther down. Might be time for a fresh blade, TBH. I know I've done more than one project with this particular one, so you know what? Let's treat ourselves. You know what? Let's finish up with this one. No, why would I do that? It's not a treat. This is all about making good things, because I said I wanted to do this right. Fresh blade, please. There we go. That's the side it wants to be on. I mean, it could be on either side, honestly. Nope, it couldn't, because they have to retract it all the way. Cool. Okay. Put it away. I mean, this is just flexing to have that kind of detailing on the inside of a piece that no one's going to be seeing. Oh, right, we got to put our flaps on first. There. Ah, Corty, skyhooks. Those have been my favorite form of orbital lift mechanic. Goodbye. Since reading Seven Eves. So I'd never really given it too much of a thought, and then just having it described and as a sort of mid-air docking. So at least the way they're described in Seven Eves is that you've got these giant spinning things that kind of look like a gigantic hammer in space, and you've got your center point, which orbits around the Earth, and then it's got the long shaft, and at the end of it, sort of a subhabitat. So that subhabitat swings down into the atmosphere at a level where a standard aircraft can somehow attach, and the way they describe it attaching is you're kind of flying and getting yourself into position while this big-ass thing swoops down from behind you and just picks you up and then takes you up into space. Yeah, it's kind of like, like refueling aircraft pulling you into orbit. It's, super cool. Went to Space Camp Montreal, says Omdarastrix. Omdarastrix. Did 3 years of physics astronomy degree in the 20s. Learned more about orbits playing Kerbal Space Program. Yep. I mean, my first space game in that respect was the... God, what was it? What game was that? It was for the NES, I'm going to say, and it was a space shuttle-based game. And that was the first game the first time I had to really confront the issue of orbital dynamics, and that just the simplest point is that if you want to go higher, you have to go faster. But if you want to go slower, if you want to catch up to something, you have to adjust your altitudes, and it's like, oh, I hate this. But that was very young Ian who didn't know what was what, and doesn't matter. So, okay. Apparently these are supposed to click down. Onto one of these sides here. Now, I get the feeling that might be the clear bits, because they don't appear to be clicked through. But how the heck is that supposed to even work? Or am I just completely overthinking it? And these literally just click over top like that. Yeah, they don't click so much as just kind of sit there. Well, you know what? Let's keep at it. Okay. This one kind of wedges into... Wait a minute. It is those sides, right? Yeah, it is. Okay. So they kind of wedge in like this, I want to say. Some of these are going to fit better than others, I get the feeling. Ah, I see. You really got to wedge them up against the edge. And then they click into place. Ah, and I assume that they go on... Yep, I got this mixed up a bit. These go into the notch sides. The flat side just stays flat. Again, much like Jason Alexander taught us about the big DLT, the flat stays flat and the notch stays notch. There's some interesting gapping going on here. It's not the perfect fitting model, I would say. But it is coming slowly together. Well, not slowly. Surely. Good, good. And yet and you're right there, Nigoki, as well, that the outer piece is going to hold them in place too. But what we really need to do is get that edge of the wing into that tiny notch area just in there. And then we can cap it off with a friendly end piece. I'm not going to push that too hard because we do want to be able to get this off for future war culting. I mean, for future disassembly and painting. That's looking handsome. Oh, there's something about the sight of a slowly turning colony like this that just really gets me right in the feels. And even just seeing it like this is enough to just evoke that, oh, we could do such good. All right, no talk about the future war cult here today, then. All right, step 5. And this is where we're going to do branch off a bit here, too. So step 5 is taking all these little pieces, cutting them out, and then inserting them into A3, these little bits here. And normally, what they're suggesting that you do is you put the little plastic piece in, and then you cover it with a sticker. I might actually just, I might get myself some green and blue paint, honestly, just to make this look just a little bit nicer. But we're not going to stick those in today again for that reason. Because again, we're going to be doing some spraying, which is going to just F these pieces right up. Let's double check. Oh yeah, no, that's cloudy AF. Again, compare that to the end, which is nice and clear, to, yeah, and that's good and dry now. Glad we tested. Great, let's get the rings out. 3. Stay here. Good point. All right. Ow. Didn't touch myself, but that was still a bit snappy. Now this thing I think I got to be really careful about because it definitely is small and thin and could possibly have some parts that I'm not supposed to cut. Yee. Okay, that one I might just get the God hands into to de-sprue. No, don't need them. Cut. Heimkato. And we have our first completely free sprue. Excited. All right, do that 3 more times. Stick this to the side for now. I'm gonna cut, 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 cut for the sprue. And I guess we got this extra end if we're worried about that. Sorry, lurker spine. Wow, 3 hours for a real grade. Yeah, that's some good work. No, there's something about taking your time with a project and building it up right. You know, we do so many things these days. And there's so much in the world that makes us want to, or that doesn't make us want, but is marketed to us to be, you gotta be first, you gotta be now. And I see this show up in people talking about dead games and old shows, like, why are you watching that? That's old. Still good. You know, just because something's not new, just because something's not advertised, doesn't mean it's not worth doing or consuming. And yes, there is a lot to be said about quick builds and instant gratification, because I enjoyed chocolate chip cookie as much as the next person who's able to enjoy chocolate chip cookies can. But you know, I don't always want a chocolate chip cookie. Sometimes I want a meal. Sometimes I want some gum, you know, something that's going to last for a while. Sometimes I just want a sip of fine whiskey. Yeah. Go. Oh, that's some nice looking stuff there. God, there's mold lines down the middle. Am I going to have to get in there and sand all these mold lines off? I should. I don't know if I will. I should. If I'm talking about doing this in the quote-unquote proper manner. Okay, let's just use the God hands to trim these down just a bit. Gotta ask the question, are they visible? The answer is, on this piece, probably, well, not from as far back as I'm going to be looking at it, but who knows? Okay, that one's ready for cleanup. This one is cleaned up. Let's get things ready for cleanup on this one. Depends if I can live with myself after. Now there's the real question, 62 MG Cobra. And the answer is absolutely. If I had to live my life based on what other people thought of me, I mean, no, it'd be probably okay, but wouldn't have got to this point if that was the case. Okay, this one, I think we can just get God-handed. Yep, and then we're going to need to clean up just a bit around the edge there, if you can see that. And we'll get the knife in. Okay, good. I was worried for a second that I'd cut too fast and too deep, but I need to go right up to the edge here, it looks like. That's our point. Okay, and cut. Just shave. There we go. Clean. Same thing with this piece. Let's just give it a slight slide. And then again. Ooh-wee. There we go. Pretty clean. No less clean than these little bumps along the edge here. And the top edge, I'm going to give us a God handing. Marvelous. It's one of those down. Do it again. Marvelous. Oh, the God hand is absolutely the tool for that. Although there's a slight amount of leak along the mold line there. Get your act together, Wave Corporation. That's unfair. Bandai has done some amazing work in terms of pushing forward the state of the art in terms of injection molding. Lurker spine, it's you know, I'll nope, we're good. I'll give you the Ferris Bueller review on that. If you have the means, I highly recommend it. All right, one more here. Top goes chop. Side goes away. Oh yes, of course, I should mention, as I always must, other premium nippers are available. Gotta stay in practice in case there's that off chance I might get my own Big British Castle series. Okay. So we got this one down the middle here, which I don't... So I'm just gonna give it a good little chop. Well, that... No problem there. And then I'm going to turn it on its side to get these ones. There we go. Nice. Again here. Okay, and back this way just a bit. Hey. Cleanliness. Okay. I think I have some Zuron nippers, says Iris of Ether, which aren't quite as good, but I think I can also use them on metal sometimes. I mean, that for me, I use my nippers on wire and metal more often than I use them on plastic. So honestly, they are both necessities in this household. Mekakuga's got some good Tamiya cutters. They seem to be as good as a God Hand. I mean, hey, yeah. Like I said, there are others out there. God Hand just happened to catch the branding for exactly what you'd want for a Gunpla nipper. Okay, there's that. Take down that. There we go. Nice and clean there. And then one more stubby nubby. There we have it. Couple nice, clean ring pieces. Yeah, Power Fists, as in G-Cobra. That's some good... I mean, with those, if they ever get dull, you can take them back in. Get a new pair. The Royal Guarantee. Okay, let's get my ring assembled. He said, knowing exactly what he said, and did not want to take that one again. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Then you've got these ones now, which I think it just matters that they're all to the same side, and also they can't go in a different way. Wedge that in that back there. This is thankfully a piece we can keep assembled when we do the painting, I think. Can you get a clean take of that? Absolutely not, then. Unless we're getting for the highlights, in which case. And we'll just reassemble my ring. Urgh. Yeah, let me tell you, living with the editor of the highlights does not give you any special highlight placement privileges. This is a no nepotism zone. I'm being, let's be honest, slight nepotism zone. All right. Let's get these. There we go. That's not bad. Give it a spin while we open our next page. Which is going to be... Oh god, there's a lot more to this than I thought there was. 7, which gives B5, B1, and B3 and B7. A lot of B's. Ah, there we go. It's like, where did this go? We're very quickly running out of sprues, and this, I think, is about it. So let's pop out B5, B1, B3, B7. B5. 5. B1. That worried me for a second, like, oh, these must be magnetized. Wait a second, plastic isn't ferrous. B1 and B3 and B7. B3 is tiny. And B7 is even smaller. Well, I mean... B7 is now someone over there. Which means this is a good time for us to take a short break while I swap the fluid, stretch the legs, and find part B7. Folks, don't go away. More Tinker, Tailor, Solder, Fry in just a few minutes. Folks, we are back with more Tinker, Tailor, Solder, Fry, where we are currently in the process of assembling a space settlement O'Neill colony model. We are in the home stretch here. I don't know if we're going to get to the full hour, but we'll definitely keep going until we're done. That's for sure. Is Adam starting his play it forward tonight or not? I couldn't see on the tweet as it came by. But that said, we are on step 7 of 12, plus painting, plus whatnot. And, oh, good. So we don't need to worry about what's coming up next. Right. Step 7. We've got to assemble parts B5, B1, and B3, and B7, which, when we last spoke, had disappeared. But I found it again! Here we are. B7. Thank goodness I was able to vacuum my floors today, just before show, so that it was relatively easy to find and required a little to no cleanup afterwards. That's... Good God, this is a tiny piece. Why is this piece so small? What are you thinking, Wave Corporation? Why you do this to me? Okay, that is a piece. That is not garbage. Okay, and snip off the piece up here that is garbage. But leave the rest. Holy moly, by the way, anyone who's a fan of Ultraman Z like I am, or Zet as it's properly and constantly reminded to be pronounced, the actor of Haruki from Zet is going to be showing up in Ultraman Trigger later on this month, so I'm excited to have my old Ultra buddy back on the screen as well. Oh no, Iris made a tiny book of the Jacob and Spider-Man. He dropped it and never found it. Wow. I hate it when that happens. I mean, that, honestly, oh no. Oh good, okay, good. I do think I know how this goes in. So B3 has its side to me like that. And then this part, flat side up. Aha! This is the assembly, I want to say. That doesn't seem correct to me. All right. So apparently, this... Oh. So the bottom part... So the big thing sticks out the bottom. That's what we're looking for, right? Like this. I think this is correct. Nope. Wow. What does it want from me? Okay, let's get these parts in. Well, okay, let's start by cleaning up our other two parts here. RB5 and RB1. So B1, easy to clean. Let's just get the nippers in there. Okay, that's clean. And, why is that in between two sticky bits? No nipper can fit in there. Ah! Do I get the tiny knife? I get the tiny knife. Okay, dear model makers, when your parts are small enough that I am moving them around with my exacerbated sigh, that is a sign that your parts are too small. But I did manage to get that out there and retain the two, these two bits here. I feel good about that. Okay, and then finally, B5. I keep saying finally. Do not think that the word means what I think it means. Make sure that you're not... Okay. And make sure that you're not cutting anything you're not wanting to cut. Even God himself would be cut. Okie dokie. So I see this part goes in this hole, I believe. In life after. And then this part connects to so these parts go together like this. And then this part is supposed to connect somehow there? This is the weirdest assembly. And then this whole bit covers over the back. I think this part just kind of rests here like this. Yup. Jesus, this is the worst design. So this little hole here, this tiny, tiny hole right there, that lines up with this tiny, tiny stud right here. And this is the worst. Oh! That's not going to hold anything in. So that goes down there like this. And then I guess this piece locks in here. Oh, where's my tweezers? Oh, grabbed my tweezer. I guess that just goes there. It all supposedly comes together. So what was the point of this? I like model building. All that work for this. Greebly! Now what we need is like some interns to make 400 or 500 of these, and then I'd feel pretty confident that we could make a good model Star Destroyer from scratch. B2, B6, B8 are our next pieces here. B2. Bonk. Bonk. B6. That's 9. This is 6. B8. Big, chunky. Monkey? Oh, good. I thought I'd lost my brass rod for a second. Which is an interesting thing to be able to say. Random Trivia, that's the sort of series I would love to be able to make if I didn't have to have a day job. That would allow a lot more time to get out there and find kits and other pieces of equipment to make a model Star Destroyer from scratch. Like, it's not the frustration, it's just the case of that would take over all of my time. And as much as I love and would love the idea of a scratch-built custom Star Destroyer for my living room. I don't love Star Destroyers that much. Now, a tiny sub-series about building a, maybe actually building a completely custom designed original ship. That might be an interesting concept. But again, boy, that would take a while to actually be done. Oh yeah, no, kit bashing is one of those things I would love to have the time to do. Although I do have a, yeah, I'll tease it. When we get back to the offices, there's a sub kit bashy, not completely kit bashing, but kit bash related stream I want to do with some friends. But that's going to be a while yet. So hold your horses. God, I sound like my father now. Anyway, step 8. We have cleaned up our pieces here. So we need to shove this one. Okay, good. At least I can't screw this up. He says, somehow screwing it up. Okay. Yes, that went in. Good. And then this goes further in. Yes, good. All the way? All the way. All the way in. Really? Okay, step 9. We'll take our colony. We'll take our ring. We'll insert our ring into the colony. I'm assuming large hole goes to large. Oh, that was probably the wrong noise to make when I did that. But oh, look at this, chat. It's all coming together, but oh. Okay, and let's shove piece 8 on the back of that ring. Give it a little twist for assembly purposes. Good. And then we're going to just shove this on the end, I guess. Yep, and there we go. There's the tiny little thing, I guess. All right, let's set this down here. Good point there, Boone. Yeah, the size of the cylinder diameter is 4 miles, so these tiny bits are city side. City size, not city size, but small town size. Okay, it's time to make a... Oh, cool. Time to make a base. Because I'm happy with bases. We need E2, E1, and E3. Doot, doot, doot. Those are E1 and E2 and E3. Crank, 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 crank. You wonder why people call me Crankor. No one calls me Crankor.
You have crank in it in the dining room?
I mean, it is the only place currently being broadcast to the internet, Corey. God, I hope that came through. All right, clean up this one. Let's see, that needs a bit of, just a wee bit. Okay, and that does that. Good. That is a clean cut. Clean cut. And you can clean it up a bit more. There we go. Look at that. Scratchy plastic. 1, 2. Look, if I do something weird, don't tell Corey. Clip it. That's the ticket. Narking? That's not right. Clip it. That's the ticket. Okay. Good, 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 good. Good, 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 good. Checking. All done. Mostly done. Might have to replace this this here stand though with something a bit more wooden. Uh-oh. Did I heck that side? Sure as heck did. There we go, that's slightly better. There we go. I mean, you're right. You're right, Nigoki. It is a generic space settlement, but there's something feels just wrong about calling a space colony a generic space settlement of any sort. But yeah, Gundam absolutely does not have the monopoly on O'Neill type colonies. Kind of cool though that Tomino did agree to using the O'Neill type cylinder colony as their space settlements in that series, especially when paired with the aspect of hiring Sid Mead to do mechanical design for Turn A Gundam. And, weirdly, the never picked up Gundam movie of the 80s. Or Hollywood Gundam movie of the 80s. Check out Zimmerit.whatever for a really good article on that, if you are so inclined to find out more. Okay, we need to put these in now first. So these connect together, thusly for a nice splayed look. Yes. Like, as far as stands go, I can really get behind this as just a real classy little stand. Ah, there we go. Thank you, Nigoku. Oh yes, Zimmer.moe, because of course. .moe is a great domain. How the hell did we convince the IEEE, no, the IEEE, the W3C to accept .moe as a top-level domain? B9 and B4 are what I need. B9 being the second to last piece of plastic to remove from that sprue, empty sprue, and B4 being a regrettable choice by the writers of Star Trek The Next Generation for a way of keeping Brett Spiner in the series. There we go. And, oh, E4. We got a couple more pieces here, too. Let's just finish trimming up these bits of back end here. That's some good, clean cuts. This is going to look so nice once we get a little wash on it. Orca Spine, blame Kaon. You'd think so, but remember what I said earlier about Macross being a real, like, what we gotta do is we gotta blame Minkimoto for not just, and a lot of people throw Minmay under the bus for this, but quite frankly, the real Moe character of Macross was Misa Hayase. Mercado, yep. Corey and I are currently in the midst of a Babylon 5. Well, it's a rewatch for me, and it's a watch for her. And we just finished season 2 the other night. And I'm super excited to keep going because I love that show, despite some of its origins. J. Malekos Straczynski continues to be continues to seem to be a half-decent human being, but let's just all be extremely online, shall we? Okay, got my brass rod. Got to get my last 2 sprued pieces. Really nice of them to keep an extra end cap, just in case you fuck up your end cap. It's more likely than you think. Burp, burp, burp. Burp, burp, burp. Good. Empty sprue. Gotta show them off. I don't know why, but that's now tradition. Spoil the brass rod, spare the child. That honestly, those are words I can live with. Just to say, just don't child. But that's me. You do you, fam. In which case, if you want if you want a child, specifically do, fam. You do. No, this is getting deeper than I thought it would. Abort! Abort! Boop. Okay. Clean up on aisle. Clean up on L4. Clean up on L4. Okay, so we got the B9 bit. That goes like this. And then this goes in here. And then this cap goes out the back, but not before. This goes through here. Ow! Plugs into this end cap. We'll just... Here's my pushy bit. Aha! Got that in there good and tight now. And then apparently this goes into here. Aha. Aha. And so if you want to display it au naturel or hanging, you've got this plug piece. But should you want to display on a... Oh no, that goes on that side anyway. Because for display purposes, that goes in the other end. And folks, not gonna push it in all the way, because again we wanted this assemble, but we have ourselves a Space colony. I'm so happy. It's perfect and beautiful, and I love it. This is what we could have had, folks. This is what we could have had. Yeah. So I guess before I get too sigh on this, I should probably discover some things. Let's put this up in this corner here, so we can all enjoy a good space colony while we wind down today's stream. Folks, thanks so much for joining me today on Tinker, Tailor, Solder, Fry. It's been a hell of a lot of fun. I'm really happy to have gotten this assembled, because it's been sitting in my office for about a few months now. Long enough that I've been staring at it longingly. But we're not done. We'll have to come back with more once we've got things primed out and then ready for washing and stickering. But for the moment, that's the end of this program. So I want to thank, as I did already, all of you who watched. I want to thank those of you who are in the chat, just chatting away. I want to thank those of you who are just sitting around lurking, not saying anything. I see you. I also see those of you who are out on youtube.com/loadingreadyrun, where Loading Ready Live, where this gets uploaded later. With regards to stickers, yeah, stickers are here. What's going to happen? We're going to get Tamiya TS13 clear coat on all the white parts. Give it a wash, or give it a wash, then give it a sticker. Then we put the flat TS80 on top of it. So that's going to happen in future. I'll probably do the paint, or probably do the initial spray off camera, maybe. Have I considered printing out some interior stickers, Devils? Yeah, Metal Kuga. We get the interior ones here, and you get these nifty mirror ones here. What else do we want to say here? We want to thank those of you who are kind enough to show your generosity to Loading Ready Run over at the website called patreon.com. For money, they take your money and give us some of it. And we really appreciate those of you who choose to support us via that method. We also want to thank those of you who are your YouTube members through a similar system. YouTube gives us a portion of what you give them, and you get to become a member and ask us questions in the upcoming Ask Lur series. I think questions are closed for the current month or period. I'm not sure how long it is, but get in there and they'll happen again in the future. Finally, we want to thank those of you who are kind and generous enough to show your support here on the channel while the show is happening at twitch.tv/loadingreadyrun. I'm going to need to set this to the side right here so I don't knock it while I'm looking up today's good donators. That is... It is currently... Oh yeah, we need definitely some better, some more granularity on this system. So I'm gonna thank, let's see here. Does anyone remember who the last subscriber was? Let's start with, let's see here. Where's my thing? Last one was Mark Parks. Thank you so much, Lucas Spine. Okay, that makes it really easy. Find Mark. Sorry, the first one was the one I was looking for. But I think, you know what, we're just going to go back to the 3-hour mark and thanks Max the Fourth for 22 months of resubscription. Thank you for your continued support. Thanks also to No Leaf Clover for 9 months. That is an sub-babby, so thank you for sticking around for that long. Aiden Kizu is a 3-month subscriber. Thank you for joining us for that particular anniversary. Why did I say it that way? 3 months, you came back. I'm really happy that you're still here. Pygmy Worm, 50 months, big number. Woo, thank you. Miriam, Mistress of Manifolds, is a 36-month subscriber. 36 months, that's exactly 3 years. Kick Butt, Adam and James. Well, obviously, that's for Adam and James. So let's go with Lindis123 for 56 months. Thank you, Lindis for your long-time subscription. Gambling Are Good is a brand new subscriber. Welcome to the channel. More alpacas is always better because it's more than fewer alpacas. 26 months, thank you for your continued support. Julian is a subscriber for 51 months. That's almost 1 year in weeks. Yes, that's right. Yes, good math, me. Tariq, 1976, 33 months. File this, Larry. Good. Ooh, wow. Cuts. Iris Ether, 19 months. Happy 19th month anniversary to you for that. Midnight. Midnighter night. It's nighter than night. 23 months, almost 2 years. Carve, glue, paint, repeat, and do it again. Dark Nacht with 51 months of subscription. Thank you for your support as well. Long time. Godart. 50 months. The big 5-0. Thank you and congratulations on that milestone. Spleen Lord has subscribed for 57 months. That's a lot of spleen. Captain Wolf is subscribing for their 28th month. Thank you for your continued support. Starfreak 359, good wolfy number there. 28 months of subscription. Thank you. Mark Barks has subscribed for 39 months. Thank you for your continued support. Clock Wisely clocking in at 5 months. Thanks for sticking around and happy to have you as part of the channel as well. Lurker's Spine dumps 100 bits on us, saying thank you for the stream, thank you for the bits, and thank you for watching. And Space Thingy is a brand new subscriber. Thanks to Demon Fire for that gift sub. Thank you, everyone. One last time for watching. Yeah, let's get it on screen here with a comparison for the build. It's pretty close. It's looking good. We're gonna have to get some red lines in there maybe. But definitely a nice space dirtying wash. And yeah, we'll have to get this disassembled to get the earlier paints on. But work in progress. Progress looks good. Thanks so much, everyone, one last time for watching. We'll see you in a fortnight's time for something different, probably. But we'll let you know. Until then, as we say every time, ever forward, never learning. Peace!